Hey, Angelo here, owner of AppealUnfairPropertyTax.com, where you never pay a percentage to fight your Cook County property taxes. This is a very important message for all Cook County owners, no matter where you live in Cook County. I often do area-specific videos. This is for anyone who has a house, a property in Cook County, Illinois. That's Chicago and 45 miles around it, basically. All the way west to Barrington, all the way south to Calumet, all the way north to Winnetka, Evanston, New Trier. One thing I think that everybody's forgetting about is that the July tax bill is still not out yet, and we're like almost mid-November, or early November, first week of November. That's crazy. Normally you have 8 months from the July bill to the March bill, okay? August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. You no longer have 8 months. You now have 4 months. That's insane. Now the March bill is going to be on time. Why? Because there's only one calculation, 55% of the year before. So when you get this next bill, and when are you going to get it? My bet is if they're smart, they're going to get it out before Christmas so people have the cash. And it's going to ruin a lot of holidays. And like I said, the March bill is going to be right behind it. I've been warning specifically Chicago owners, every year 1/3, the county's cut into 3 major pieces. Everybody above Chicago, everybody in Chicago, and everybody below Chicago. The county just puts its finger on one of those 3 every year and says, okay, I'm screwing with this one. And in 2024, it was on the city of Chicago. 3 years before that, it was 2021, and that was the worst reassessment I'd ever seen in 20-something years of doing property tax appeals. You're talking 60 to 128% increase for a lot of the 2 flats, 3 flats around our office near Foster and Kimball. Insane. You're talking about going from $5 grand a year to $12 grand a year overnight. That's insane. Now, the thing is, that bill is still not out. You didn't see that value, that crazy value that was issued, and now 2024 was more like 45% average. That's still insane. No way did real value go up 45% in 3 years. That bill is still due to land any day. The delay, the holdup, the county says they're doing a new system, okay? Now, if you're lucky, the bank's gonna pay it if it comes out right before Christmas, and it usually takes the bank 30 to 60 days to adjust your mortgage. You might get past Christmas if you're lucky. But even if it is, after Christmas, do you want to budget some Christmas money for your property taxes? Because you were supposed to take that hit 4 months ago, and it's 4 months late. So it's just horrible. And like I said, the March bill will be on time because there's only one calculation. They don't need any specific special tool to get that bill out. So that one's only going to be 4 months away, and it's going to be, you need to cancel spring break. You got to rethink your spring break plans. It's going to create a tremendous burden on taxpayers. So I'm Angelo, owner of AppealUnfairPropertyTax.com. We're family owned, 5 stars everywhere. Facebook, Google, Yelp, A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. And if you want to take a quick look around, I'm talking to you from Vietnam, where I got stuck for COVID. Now have a beautiful wife and baby. Took a trip and became my halfway house, I guess you would call it, halfway home. And yes, now my wife's petition was approved for America. She's got her visa, and we're coming home just before Thanksgiving, so I'm excited about that. Take a look. This is Vietnam, first week of November. Insane. We're at an outdoor coffee shop. And if I can care about your property taxes all the way over here from the other side of the world, it's usually 12 hours difference. Now it's 11 because Chicago just changed time, daylight savings time. Then you should be caring. Cook County is the 2nd largest collection pot in the entire country. No other place takes in more total money except Orange County, California, where all the movie stars, all the perfect roads are. And look around in Cook County. Schools and libraries are the number 2 funders of property taxes. And we don't really have any bragging rights in the school industry. Like education isn't that hot. I'm sorry if you're a teacher, I'm not trying to offend anyone. Libraries, they built a $2 million library up half a block east of our office that was at Foster and Kimball for 10 years until COVID. Now we work from home. And the hours were sporadic, like Wednesday, 9 to 6, Thursday, 10:30 to 5. Just every day had different hours. It's crazy. So where's all the money go? It's the number 2 largest collection pot in the country. It's the number 2 state that people are fleeing. Every day, that's like a jumbo jet full of families outside the state that aren't coming back, and they're also taking their businesses along with them. The county is not going to lose that money. They're not going to shorten their budget. The burden gets transferred to the guy who's doing nothing, okay? And if you're the guy doing nothing, that's you. Don't be fooled by description errors that they mail you of your house, like, oh, there's no AC, and you have AC. You're afraid you're going to get caught with air conditioning. One of the biggest tricks, unfinished basement. It's mentioned in a lot of my videos. On my website, appealunfairpropertytax.com, I have a whole videos page. Get wiser videos. Don't worry about description errors. Some people think, oh, I put in my man cave a year ago. I added 1,200 feet down there. That's a finished basement now, but my description says unfinished. Guess what? Basements are always free, even when they're finished. Surprise. That's the wool being pulled over the taxpayers' eyes, getting you to keep your mouth shut, pay up with a smile, thinking you're going under the radar, and it's all BS. We're a family business. We swear a little bit. Our customers voted for it. We said, you know, do you want us to keep it professional or talk to you like family with occasional profanity? And 94% voted for the later, so we do. What's happening right now is complete bullshit, and it's going to catch up on you real quick. Life gets busy, and I was raised by a single mom. We were homeless twice. I have no problem talking about it. She never moved us into a bad neighborhood. She moved us where things were small and cheap, but she became a nurse when I was 10, and things got better. Actually, I was homeless at 13 and 17 when she tried to move us out of state. 13, she broke her ankle. A landlord wouldn't fix a railing. She slid off the ice, cracked her ankle through an iron fence, iron railing when she fell. The second time she tried to move us to Texas, and there was a delay in her nursing license. Things got better though. And I would just know that my mom would forget about the July bill that was supposed to be, you know, normally hits in July forever, and it's not. Actually, it was delayed the last couple of years, only a couple months because of COVID. That was their reasoning. And they were waiting for the appeal agencies. Every year you got 2 chances to appeal. The first is the assessor, and 4 to 6 months later is the board of review. Those agencies were slow because they were skeleton staffs, according to their websites. And I said to my customers, it's good they're going slow and taking the time to read them. In my experience, when they go fast, the results get crappier. They just say no to more people. So I praised them and said it was a good thing they were going slow, and the treasurer was waiting for those results to know what to print on the July bill. Only the July bill has the value of your property, and every 3 years that value changes, even if you're doing nothing. And that's what's so wrong about Cook County. Normally, when you live anywhere else in the country, it's 1 to 3% a year that they raise you, and that's all the homeowner tolerates when you hit them every year. Cook County hits you every 3 years, and for decades it's been 30% plus on most. It's insane. It's far off par with what real value is doing. So look forward to having your business. I'm asking my current customers to please send this out to anyone they can think of. Even if you use a guy, and if you're paying a guy a percentage, I'm sorry, that's old school and it's just not smart. You can drop a lawyer at any time. There's a video on our website, how to dump your lawyer. That's the one that gives them chest pain. Super simple. You can download Google Stop Work Letter. As of this date and time, don't do anything else on my property. If they do, guess what? You don't got to pay them. So, yeah, it's really something. It's going to be a hard time, and I'm afraid this is going to creep up on you right before Christmas. So I'm trying to be the guy, you know, waving the flag. Hey, pay attention to this. Don't put this has been on the back burner, but it's still out there, and it's going to come through any day. My bet before Christmas, like I said, if they're smart, they get the money before the holidays. They get it before Black Friday. Speaking of Black Friday, I am going to do something awesome, and I've gotten itching to just go ahead and get a head start on everybody, and because everybody's going to need the help. When they see this bill, especially Chicago owners, with that crazy new 2024 value, those taxes are going to jump on that new value on this next coming bill if you're a Chicago owner. Also, one last thing I want to touch on real quick. When you hire a company like mine to help you fight your property taxes, you're going to recall a lot of letters from my competition. We never solicit. We're growing 100% entirely on referrals. And our YouTube channel, videos, people sharing our videos. The first year of the cycle, the year you go up, the job is not to lower dollars. If you were raised 40% in your Chicago house in 2024, and we lowered it 30%, that's still a great drop. But you're still climbing 10% when this next bill comes out. And you're like, Angela didn't save me any money, blah, blah, You're like, oh, check the neighbors. They went up 40%, you only went up 10. My competition is not so forthcoming. They're not so honest. Their solicitations are very psychologically, cleverly made. You'll also never see in their contract dollars. It doesn't talk about dollars. People think, oh, I've been paying $5,000 a year for 3 years. I'll only pay when that $5,000 goes down. You're not at $5,000 anymore if you went up 40%. You're closer to 8 grand, you know. And if they bring you right back down to 5, they've saved you $3,000. Nothing changes for you except you're going to write a big fat check for 33 to 50% of $3,000. Our company is crazy low. It's only $175 a year, and on our website you can get a 3-year package, which will knock 48% off of that. Okay, that's what the majority do. We also have a premium service where we can file the first agency for you at the assessor. Okay, 4 to 6 months later, there's a board of review, and there we have a $250,000 database that generates the evidence for both. You upload your own file for the board of review. It makes it yours. All results come back to you. You keep 100% of reductions, 100% of refunds. You will not see in their contracts, the other guys, the word refund, because they call it certificates of error to get it by you. That's the document that becomes a refund in the county. All right? We don't sugarcoat things. We don't blow smoke up anybody's asses. If you appreciate the authenticity here, I'm trying to speak to you from my heart like I speak to my clients. And if you are my clients, again, this is especially for you. You might want to, pinch your Christmas budget until you see this next bill come through. If you live in like paycheck to paycheck like my mom did for the great majority of our lives. Thank you, and have a nice night.